Welcome to Network TV, episode 8 of season 11, broadcasting on the NCW Life channel. I'm Sue Kane, CEO of NCW Tech Alliance, and I'm thrilled to be your guide today. For over 20 years, NCW Tech Alliance has aimed to be at the heart of our tech ecosystem in North Central Washington, from the expansion of the fiber network to the newest frontiers of generative artificial intelligence and every step in between. We champion innovation, entrepreneurship, STEM education, and digital equity, because we want to foster a community where technology thrives and everyone has access to the skills, devices, and connectivity they need to live, work, and play. And this ensures that our region is not just growing, but truly flourishing. A critical part of that vision is ensuring that young people who grow up in our communities across the region have opportunities to learn and grow and build the skills and earn the credentials that they need to be competitive candidates for incredible local family-sustaining jobs. In today's episode, you'll get to meet a dynamic team of educators working to construct and illuminate career paths for young people in Wenatchee as part of their middle school and high school experience through career and technical education. In our first segment, you'll meet Jake Bucholz, the Career and Technical Education Director, and Taunya Brown, the High School CTE Coordinator. Both from the Wenatchee School District, Jake and Taunya have been working to engineer paths for students that include training and career development experiences that get students out into professional spaces in our community on solid learning paths that include options to earn those certificates, credentials, or college credits. It's exciting for students and families because these paths lead to local careers in technology, energy, clean tech, healthcare, and business, and so many more. In our second segment, Jake will return with Ron Brown, the Executive Director for Technology, Safety, and Security at the Wenatchee School District. And together, they'll share a little bit about a new program path that they've been working on that's going to create an opportunity for students to train in technology, cybersecurity, and even prepare for employment after graduation with our data centers right here in the region. You don't want to miss this, so stay tuned. We'll make some new connections right here with NCW Tech Alliance on networked TV on the NCW Life channel. Welcome back. I'm Sue Kane here on Network TV, and I'm joined by Jake Bucholz and Taunya Brown at the Wenatchee CTE Department. Hi.
Hi, how's it going? Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for being here. So for those who are just joining us, who it's maybe been a while since they were in high school, what is career and technical education?
Yeah, so career and technical education is, that's really where we focus on the skills that students need to move into employment either right away after high school or potentially move into a post-secondary certification, get a little bit more schooling, and then they're ready to move into that workforce.
So career and technical education, or CTE, is for students who want to go into careers, but also could be students that want to go into college.
Absolutely. I think that is one thing that sometimes gets lost, is that there's a thought that it is only moving into a career right after high school, but so many jobs need that college, whether it's a short certificate or a 2-year or even a 4-year, and those all fall within the scope of career and technical education.
So that's incredible. What kinds of careers do the pathways at Wenatchee School District prepare young people for?
Oh, goodness. Well, we have about 22 different programs of study right now that are kind of built out. Falling into healthcare, into agriculture, technical skills. We've got landscape management as an example. So we've got kind of things all across pathways, as well as education. So trying to build out pathways for kids that could do jobs within our local economy.
Yeah, that is a solid array. So how do students have to be able to start benefiting from all of these training pathways and courses?
Yeah, so in the Wenatchee School District, we start our career and tech ed programming in the 7th grade. So all of our middle schools have different programming that aligns with what we call a program of study at the high school level. And they will continue to work through 9 through 12 after they come into the high school. So yeah, 7th grade on up, we're ready to work with them and start developing the skills that they need to move on beyond Wenatchee School District.
That's incredible, and students are given a whole lot of choice then about how they want to engage and prepare.
Absolutely, there is a ton of choice, and so we've worked hard to develop a system within all of that choice to help make sense of it for families, because the choice can become overwhelming of, look at all these different options I have coming in as a 9th grade student. And so to help create a little bit of structure for families, they are aligned in program areas and then within programs of study inside of each of those areas. And that way it makes it a little bit easier to say, hey, I'm interested in this kind of area. And now you've got 3 things to choose from instead of all 22.
Sure, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. And so within those program areas, students can actually maybe take a couple classes and get a little bit more experience and kind of figure out.
Yeah, and one thing that's very important in the high school experience for us is, yes, it's important to know what you would like to do or what you'd like to move towards, but sometimes early on in that high school career, it's finding what maybe you don't want to do either. And so it's all about the exploration process and period for a student, and that benefits them as they move on beyond us and hopefully are that much more ready to move into the item of choice or the career of choice after us.
So tell me a little bit about, I know that you're coming up on this spring, some community assessment, you're going to be bringing in some feedback, and as you're thinking about how to construct a program that helps young people to be able to connect with local careers, what does that construction look like? How do you decide what gets into a CTE program?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we work hard. So we have a great team around career and tech ed within the district. And one of the first things we do is we identify and we look at labor market data. We look at data. We talk to industry professionals that are here in our valley and then the broader region to identify what are upcoming careers, where are we short, as far as workforce, and then from there we backwards design and we work with those professionals around the skills that are needed. We work with higher education, what kinds of certificates are available already within that higher education system, what can we move into the high school system, and we build from there.
You are an engineer in these pathways of the future.
Well, I can give you an example exactly of that. We have a lot of students that are taking the Certified Nursing Assistant program.
Sure.
And then we found out from industry that really there's a high need within our region for medical assistants. So we're actually piloting a medical assistant program this spring. And so we're hoping that because of what industry has told us, we've pivoted to provide those opportunities for kids that then can stay local or go on to like Wenatchee Valley and further their education to move up in our local healthcare system.
Sure, so that pivot helps students to be sure that they're right at that demand. Yeah. What about in terms of designing it for teenagers, for young people? Like where does the fact that you're working with young people come into that planning process?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think one of the things that can get lost in the conversation and what is really important to remember or to know if you're not connected with the system, there is a huge hunger, I guess, from our young people to be engaged in highly relevant learning. They want to be engaged in learning that they see connected to their community. That's a very clear fact when you start having conversations with them. So when we get these ideas, right, and we hear from industry, we also work with and have conversations with students and go through a process with students where they're able to identify, yes, I'm interested in this area. And it clearly stands out when they see a connection and they see a relevancy. We're talking a little bit off camera just around our EMT program. And so that's something that we also piloted this spring. And we're already seeing that demand skyrocket into next year as students are saying, hey, I'm interested in this program, because they're seeing that relevancy to the community and to its citizens.
It is really empowering to be able to think about inspiring others and classmates in how they're seeing their future as well. So that really resonates. So as you're thinking about the role that you're providing, Taunya, in terms of getting students out into community, what does it look like to get some of the Wenatchee high school students out into professional spaces?
Well, we took a group of kids up to Confluence not that long ago, and we got to see where they were doing their sterile processing and where they were doing like their pre-op, like what does that look like, so that they could actually, we spent the afternoon and they could see what all goes into this and what do they have to think about and what are the possibilities. Kind of some of that stuff they don't see when they just go to a doctor visit. I think it's really important for us to try to help build kids' confidence and networks with community members, because they don't always have the confidence to do that on their own, to just walk into a business or walk into somewhere they might be interested in and say, hey, I'm so-and-so and I'd love to find out what you do. So we're really helping build those bridges and those networks for them.
Yeah, I think it's really important. We talk about kids learning soft skills while they're in school, but if you don't get an opportunity to be in a professional work environment, you maybe don't pick up on some of those soft skills. So the work that you're doing to get students out into those professional spaces and give them that real world experience is invaluable in building some of those skills. Well, when we come back, we'll have a conversation with the Wenatchee CTE team, who is working on the development of another really innovative CTE pathway in technology. So stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. I'm Sue Kane, and this is Network TV. My guests today are Jake Bucholz and Ron Brown with the Wenatchee School District, and we're here to talk a little bit about some of the new programs that you're working on this next year. Jake, do you want to start us off and tell us a little bit about your new technology programs?
Yeah, absolutely. This is something we're very excited about. So we have I will start back where we worked to put in for a grant, and we were awarded that grant to put in and start the development of a data center technician pathway, or an IT technician pathway. And the exciting thing about that is we obviously have a lot of development in our valley around the data centers. And so this is a great way to give students in our district the opportunity to work into a pathway and work into employment in this ever-expanding opportunity here in our own valley. So we are very excited about it. We have a great team assembled to continue that work and start putting all the coursework together and the opportunities for students to get on-the-job training through internship opportunities as well.
So this program pathway that you're working on will be a part of the career and technical education program at the...
Yes, absolutely. So, earlier in the earlier segment, we were talking about programs of study and pathways within program areas. This is one of those options that will be available for students.
And are there classes, technology classes at the high school that students currently have access to?
There are. And so currently we have classes around kind of your introduction to technology, to IT. We have some computer programming classes. We have courses around certifications through an organization, CompTIA or CompTIA. And one of those certifications is called the A+ certification. We have a course that is leading towards that certification right now. And the work that we have in front of us is to expand our courses and tie into more of those certifications that we currently do not offer.
So Ron, you're going to be coming in behind to really build this program out, So is your vision for what this program will look like going to be on campus? Are students going to be out with employers? Is there a progression? What does the program actually in concept look like?
I think all of the above. We have a current youth apprenticeship program through Labor and Industries that we have IT technicians currently employed by the school district. So we're hoping to dovetail with that program so that there's some practical experience day to day. In addition to creating partnerships with local data centers, other tech providers, so that our students are out in the field and providing that one-on-one help or one-to-many help desk kind of work with various companies in town. So focus would be data center, but it could be anybody. It could be a local tech support for NCW Life.
There is no shortage of technology roles across the region. So what I hear here is that you've maybe got foundational courses or curriculum and some certificates, and then maybe an idea of the job market. What does it look like to build a pathway for students that connects all those things?
Well, we're going to find that out. It's been done successfully across multiple multiple categories, from healthcare to agriculture within the CTE program at Wenatchee. Now it's just branching that out and really thinking about and dissecting where students are going to go and put them on a pathway, whether that's to secondary training, as Jake mentioned earlier, or directly to a job. I'm a firm believer that this pathway, they could get employed right out of high school, right when they graduate, if they have the right credential to go along with that graduation and some internship time or some job shadow time with a company. I think they're going to be well prepared to be employed as a 19-year-old, 18-year-old coming out of high school.
That is a game changer to be able to have a really pretty respectable salary going to work for the data centers. Now we hear often rumors about those jobs not being very numerous, or maybe there just aren't opportunities in data centers. What do you hear as you're talking to employers and connecting with community?
So what we're hearing is that there are quite a few, actually. I mean, when you really start diving into the various job opportunities that are within the data centers, and this is again just focusing there, not outside with all of the other tech opportunities. But I mean, we're talking in the hundreds of jobs that are ongoing positions that will be what we call family wage jobs. So these are jobs that can support families, that our young people will be able to leave our system and move into and be able to support our community in various ways.
Right out of high school.
Right out of high school.
And are you working with, there's a college IT pathway available here as well. How will this program pathway connect into, or does it connect into the IT pathways that would maybe go farther if a student wanted to go farther?
Yeah, the program grant that Jake was awarded for this work will partner with the college. We want to make sure those articulations are in place so that a student could continue to a 2-year. In addition, I think we reach out to the 4-year institutions that are also interested in providing some articulation to get students into a 4-year pathway. So I think there's really 3 ways students could benefit, whether it's job right out of high school, go to a 2-year, go to a technical school away from the college system, or go into a 4-year college.
These are pretty exciting outcomes. I mean, you either get a family-sustaining job, or you stay in school and you get a degree and get a family. This is what maybe winning looks like.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what we're most excited about. Is what we do know is students from our system, the large majority end up staying within our community, and so whether they leave for a little bit and come back, but ultimately families here and they want to stay within our community. So anything that we can do to support a student being able to do that and be engaged as a family wage earner and citizen within our community is only benefits not only the student, but it benefits the broader community. And so that's, we like to call that a win-win, and we're pretty excited about that.
I'm excited about that too. So now tell me a little bit about a student candidate. Like, what kinds of students are you interested in, supporting through this program?
I think it's any student. First of all, it doesn't matter your demographics at all when it comes to IT or to fit into this pathway. I think you want students who figure out what they want, but we're trying to build the pathway so they have a very generic start.
Yeah. So
they can make that choice and they're not overwhelmed by the choices that they might have to make. So it's any student who has a passion for this area, the technology sector, in any way, shape, or form, but also it could be their durable skills that are strong and they have a passion for helping people. And we can teach them the technology side of things. And so I think it could fit with any student in our population.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it would be really neat to see, some young women in that data center role, and to see,
absolutely,
that be open to absolutely everybody. So, what is most exciting to you about this pathway that you're working on?
At the end of my career, I'm most excited about really building something that can last and stand on its own with the CTE program, and getting that data center technician program running and seeing kids graduate from it and then entering the local workforce. I think that most excites me, and it's because I believe Jake's right on. They're going to stay. Typically, they might stay here. They have that family job, and that excites me the most. You know, working with our youth apprenticeship program, we've been employing those. We currently employ somebody who graduated from that program. We're hoping to provide employment ourselves as a school district to future graduates of that program. So I'm hoping that, you know, our local data centers, whether that be Chelan, Douglas, or Grant County, are welcoming these kids with open arms, because they won't be kids at that time, and they'll be able to do good work for them, and they'll be stable. They won't want to be moving on, and hopefully stay in the area.
Yeah, this is awesome. And you brought it up, so I'm going to say, you know, you got a Lifetime Achievement Award last year, and you just mentioned the end of your career. But I think, you know, you've had some considerable experience in, you know, varied environments in Wenatchee School District. So maybe I'll give you the last words here and say, what does this next year look like if you were going to manifest this runway of what this program development is going to look like?
I think what it would look like is we'd have a full program, we'd have full courses, and then we'd be able to see our students in the data centers that exist and the new ones that are coming online in an internship role, getting paid, earning hours, and earning valuable skills to launch their career. And I'd like to see them doing that when they're juniors and currently in school and inside and working in one of these facilities. That would be pretty outstanding.
That's a pretty fantastic vision to cast, and I can definitely get behind that. Anything else, you Dad?
No, I think, you know, you'd ask kind of what's exciting. I think just continuing to put together opportunities for students to find hope. I was having a conversation the other day, and I think the most exciting thing is when that student, because it could be a scary world, you know, as you're a junior and a senior in high school and you're about to move on, but to find something that now provides hope for that next step of, here's something I can do, I can make it. That's in every program that we do, but this is just that much more exciting because this is one more way that we can provide hope for a student for that next step. So
I like this. So seeding hope and technology and futures, definitely something I'll get behind. So count us in. We'll support. Well, that's it for today. Thanks for joining us. And this is Sue Kane, and thanks for watching Networked TV on NCW Life.